Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're tackling a huge question. How do we actually prepare kids for the digital world? Well, we're going to break down a pretty incredible blueprint that shows how to turn them from just users into the people who will actually build tomorrow's digital world. And really, this is the big challenge for any parent or educator out there, right? It's not just about yelling, "Get off your tablet" anymore. It's about figuring out how to guide kids through this incredibly complex online life we all live now.
So the solution we're exploring today treats this whole thing not like a one-and-done lesson, but like a journey. A journey in 3 stages. Think of it like leveling up in a game where kids grow and get empowered step by step, right as they're growing up themselves.
All right, so let's dive in. Where does this whole digital journey begin?
Okay, level 1, the Digital Explorer. This is for the little ones, grades 1 through 4. And at this age, it is all about one thing, and one thing only: safety first. This is where the adventure starts, but you absolutely need a trusted guide. And that brings us to the very first non-negotiable rule. It's so simple. Always ask a grown-up before you go online. See, this isn't about adults being gatekeepers. It's about them being co-pilots, making sure those first flights into the digital world are safe. So how do you explain a really abstract idea like a digital footprint to a 7-year-old? Well, you use a brilliant analogy. They're told to think of it like footprints on the sand, little traces you leave behind with every single click. Simple, powerful, and it just clicks. And check this out. It teaches the difference between your real self and your online avatar. The avatar isn't you. It's a fun online costume. I love that. It frames privacy not as some boring rule, but as a way to protect your secret identity, kind of like a superhero. So when you boil it all down, this first level is about installing 4 core values. A good digital citizen is safe, kind, smart, and brave. This isn't just some checklist, you know? This is the bedrock for everything else that follows. Okay, moving on up. Level 2, the Digital Investigator. We're talking grades 5 to 8 now. The training wheels are coming off a bit, and the big mission is to think for yourself. This is where exploration starts to turn into real critical thinking. And with that comes some practical skills, some real digital self-defense. It's not just have a password. No, it's about how to forge a powerful, hack-proof digital key to lock up their online world. We're talking uppercase, lowercase, numbers, symbols, the whole shebang. Then things get a little more nuanced. The focus shifts to judgment. Kids learn to really think about the difference between a real friend, someone you know in person, someone your family knows, and an internet friend, who, let's be honest, could be anyone. And you remember that digital footprint idea from level 1? Well, here it evolves. Now it's called an online reputation. See that shift? It's not just a passive trail anymore, it's an active digital report card. That makes the idea of personal responsibility feel a whole lot more real, doesn't it? To handle all the information and misinformation out there, these investigators get a toolkit. A great example is this framework called SIFT. It stands for Stop, Investigate the Source, Find Better Coverage, and Trace Claims Back to the Original. It basically turns them into little online detectives, sorting fact from fiction. And that brings us to the final stage, level 3, the Digital Architect. We're in high school now, grades 9 through 12, and the mission changes completely. It's not just about navigating the world anymore. It's about learning how to shape your world. This is the leap from being a consumer to becoming a creator. So that digital footprint concept, it levels up one more time. Here, it's not just a trail or a report card. It's your permanent online story, a story that has very real-world consequences for things like getting into college or landing a job. The threats get more complex, too. We're way beyond just creating a strong password now. These students are learning about the really nasty stuff: phishing scams that try to trick you, massive data breaches, and malicious software. And more importantly, they're learning the strategies to defend against all of it. This is where they really start to pull back the curtain and look under the hood of the technology they use every day. They learn about the invisible forces at play, things like AI bias and filter bubbles. These algorithms that don't just shape what you see online, they literally shape how you see the world. And this is so important. They get a concrete playbook for what to do when things get ugly online. We're talking about online harassment. This isn't just advice to ignore the haters. It is a step-by-step tactical guide. Don't engage. Mute. Block. report, document, and tell someone. It's about taking back control.
Okay, so after all that defense, the focus makes a huge pivot. It goes from protection to proaction. It's about realizing that social media isn't just for memes and chatting with friends. It can be an incredibly powerful tool for making positive, real-world change, for getting involved, for making your voice heard.
So let's zoom out. We've gone through the whole journey. What does it look like when you put all these pieces together? What you get is this amazing step-by-step path. You start as an explorer, learning to be safe. Then you become an investigator, learning to think for yourself. And finally, you graduate to an architect, learning how to actually build a better digital world. Each level builds perfectly on the last.
And that's the whole point, right? This isn't just about teaching kids how to avoid the bad stuff online. It's about empowering them to actively do good, to see themselves as participants, not just passive consumers.
So if you remember one thing from this, let it be this. Teaching digital citizenship isn't a one-time lecture. It absolutely has to be a developmental journey. It starts with safety, moves to critical thinking, and ends with creation and impact. It's a blueprint for empowerment, plain and simple.
Ultimately, this framework is so much more than just a curriculum. It's literally a blueprint for a better digital future. The plan is right here. So the only real question left is, who is going to pick up the tools and start building?